Well, this whole year we've been celebrating 60 years of ministry here at our Lower Roswell campus. Hard to believe, this church plant that was planted from Roswell Street on the other side of the 4 lane here in Marietta, it came Eastside. Eastside, really because we're on the east side of the county. The church grew that first decade or so, but in 1974, they called a young man and his wife, his young family, from Mississippi to come and to lead the worship ministry of Eastside. And today we still have that heritage. And it's this man's shoulders that we stand on, that we do ministry at the production level we do today. And with me today is the Billy Jack Green. Billy Jack, it's great to have you here back at Eastside.
You can come home again.
You can come home again.
Thank
it's a great
you, buddy.
place.
Appreciate that.
Actually, the day that we are taping this, we just did a singing in here just a couple hours ago, and you led with Gail Thompson, and it brought back a lot of memories. Some folks that y'all all remember being young together and raising your families together, and they were here in the room.
That's right. It's amazing. And their kids, half of these people might have been in the choir once upon a time.
Probably
but
so.
All of them's kids. We got all of them's kids.
You asked that question. I think John asked it actually and said, how many of you had kids go on choir tour? And as you watch this, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because we had choir tours for years and years and years that didn't only sing, but in places like Chicago and Massachusetts and Texas and all these states over the years, we went and we brought the gospel. The same message we still proclaim today. We proclaimed it through choir and mission trips. And, you know, it was one of those things that was new, it seems like, in the 70s. Who was even doing that? And where did you even get the idea? Did you see it, or did it just come to you? How do we begin doing those?
I guess one of the first things is being in college and going on trips in college. I never went in, had a high school choir that traveled, but being in college, and then we went on trips, tours, this type of thing. And it really... the thing that was unique about it, as we went out, we stayed in the homes with the people, the churches where we went, so we had to find a pretty good sized church to house a group. We started off with 50 or 60 or 70, and within a year and a half, we had 100 traveling people. We traveled, the most I think we ever went out was 168 on 3 buses and a truck and 2 vans, you know, this type of thing. But we went to a place and we met the people there. We had Bible clubs, this type of thing. We had revivals. We had all kinds of things where we mixed with the people. Sure. And our kids were just incredible. And it really was a education for the ministry that so many of them are in today. It's true. There was one quick word of a trip to Colorado. And the preacher challenged us when we left here. He said, some of y'all are going to surrender to the ministry during this trip.
There you go.
And 30 kids on one choir tour surrendered to the ministry. We came back in 2006 or something like that and had a reunion. Sure. And 16 of those 30 shared at the reunion where their ministry was.
I love it.
You know, that's just incredible stuff.
Now, you did something unique. We're talking about student choirs and trips and everything else, but then you did 2 very creative things that were pretty cutting edge back in the day. And I'd like to hear a little bit about the story. One was you actually took the adult choir on choir tour. The other thing is, I believe the story goes, now, I don't think this is legend. I think it's real, and I'm fixing to vet this out. There was almost really a real tree that sat here behind me. You guys built that first singing Christmas tree. It actually had true greenery that people brought. There was bugs in the tree, I heard.
Right, exactly.
Where did you get that idea from?
Okay, that tree, at a Metro Music conference, they were talking about things that other music directors around the country were doing. Okay. I heard a guy named Jack Gant down at Wyuka Road. Had a Christmas tree. So I went down and saw his Christmas tree. I was impressed. The next year, I came back and I said, Jack, when are you doing your tree? He told me, and it was early in December. And I says, I got an idea. I'll rent that tree from you after you get, he says, who puts it up for you? A bunch of college boys. I said, I'll pay the college boys to tear it down, put it on a truck, bring it out here and put it in the corner. Only place it would fit, because we had a choir loft here, steps. Yep. It had to be on flat ground, so we put it in the corner. And we didn't know how to do anything. And we had a drama on stage. The drama was here, but the singers were over there on the thing. And I cut all my junipers down at my house, and we tied it onto that rack over there. and had a tree. And when it was over, said and done, we'd taken up enough offering to buy our tree
That's
for
awesome.
us the next year. And the story began.
How about that? And I had the opportunity to direct one of the last trees. As a matter of fact, Cindy Kelly, that grew up in your ministry,
Yeah.
is our choir director, and she actually did the last tree we did. But I think that tree actually ran. Now, there are different modifications. It got bigger and a little bit different and newer.
Yeah.
But I know that I think Mickey was doing them, Scott Lee was doing them, Billy did some.
Yeah.
Then we took a hiatus, and in about 2002, I think, 2002 or 3, when I got back here, no, it was 2009, so it would have been 12, we brought a tree back. Interesting story, though, we didn't have a tree.
Yeah.
Roswell Street still had a tree in storage, and so I called their guy and said, hey, do y'all still have your tree? And he said, yeah, it's been out in years. I said, can I buy that tree from you? And so we celebrated one more time. It ran for 3 more years, but great outreach. People would come from all over Atlanta and down from Tennessee to see that tree. And enjoyed it, and it was all
Here's a funny story. I walked into Central Baptist Church in Douglasville. It was funny back then. For some reason, Douglasville was the most out-of-town people that came to the tree.
Interesting.
From I don't know what. But anyway, so I go in to do a choir rehearsal over here, and the pianist stands up, says, I know Billy Jack Green. Says, I used to work at the Home Mission Board. And they kept telling me, you got to go see Billy Jack's tree.
I love
She
Billy
didn't
Jack's
know who
tree.
Billy
Not
Jack was.
Eastside, it's Billy Jack Green's
Billy Jack's tree. That's what she said in the room there. And she was a pianist at the church now.
Sure.
But anyway, and so she told the whole story how she didn't go for 2 or 3 years. They told her to, but she wouldn't go to. But then she started. And then she didn't miss one after that. And I just got a kick out of that. Oh, Billy Jack's tree, my goodness.
You had a great run here, 18 years in ministry. I want to echo what I heard John say just a couple hours ago with the singing that we did at the end. He said, we realize that we still stand on your shoulders. And people like Billy Payne, people like Doug Bromley, good friends of ours, Scott Lee, Mickey Henderson, all of us have come after you and inherited great choirs. And though we don't do some of the stuff we used to do, a lot of the production this church enjoys today really began by you doing some creative things and charting new territory, making sure we had good sound and good lighting and doing creative things. And today we're still trying to be creative because you set that bar so high for all of us. But we want to just say thank you and celebrate your ministry here. And as we celebrate 60 years, I know you're here for the 25th. How many were you? 25th and 35? Or
let's see. It started in 61. So I made it to 30. I would be 20, help me, Tim, 15, 20, 25, and 30, I guess.
Wow. I'm going to catch up with you.
Come on, man.
I know we've been talking about this, that I actually served as the minister of music here. I'm second to you. And then I stepped out of the role about 4 years ago into a different role. So I may catch up with you as one of the pastors on staff. But it's just been a great place to be able to serve because of the tone and the great ministry that's been here. And we just want to say thank you so much.
Some of the greatest people you'll ever come across, salt of the earth. And they still don't like me or care about me because they still remember at least 10 years they didn't have a Christmas because they were on a tree somewhere singing night and day. You start on Friday night, dress rehearsal on Thursday, start on Friday night, do 2 Saturday. Sometimes we did 3 Sunday.
That's what I've heard.
Plus church. Yeah.
Long day.
Is that crazy? That's young crazy, isn't it? Just young crazy. We got where we take Tuesday off. I don't know why. Why would you
do Sunday, Monday,
and
Wednesday?
Go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we got to 14. I asked one time my friend in Memphis who had a great singing tree, and I'll get his name in a second. But I said, why don't you just have 12? He had 12 trees every year. I said, why don't you just have 12? He said, 1 year I had 14, and they told me they would kill me if I ever had 14 again. And that's why some of the people, could do without me. I
That's
said,
right. He had a
since
lot
you
of
left,
trees.
we actually have Christmas.
I love it. Well, you cared for the flock along with our good friend Clark Hutchison and
What a great
Bruce
man. I
Edwards
love
and
him, and he
others
was a
that
great man.
y'all. It just a great team you guys had, and we've assembled a great team now that is taking
You
us
got it.
into the next decade, I hope. And prayer. Here's my thing, I guess. You love this church. You have stood on this stage. You've led great hymns, great praise songs, great choirs and orchestra.
Excuse me. This was the stage. It ended here.
Not there, it's over there.
We didn't have a big fancy stage.
No,
This stage,
it was way on back.
This
It has
stage is
changed
too
over the
incredible.
years. It has. But I guess my question, knowing that a lot of the folks that are enjoying this interview that we have, and we're about to wrap it up, know you, they love you. But if you had just a blessing to say over this church that you've invested in and then they invested into you and your family, what would that blessing be for our next decade?
You know, the power of God is never changing. His presence is never changing. Same God of the 70s is still around for the new century that we are evolved in now. And I can just see it's a people thing. It's people to people and encouraging people to live their best for God, to honor God, to share Jesus Christ with somebody. I was walking, just final word, I was walking down, in fact, I was ushering at First Baptist Douglasville a few weeks back, and the guy came by me and he says, "You don't know me." A lot of people say that. You don't know me today. A lot of people say you don't know me. It's amazing. I know him.
Yeah.
But he said, you don't know me. I was at Eastside in your last years there. And he said, one of those Bailey Smith revivals on Friday night, me and my little girl came, and 175 people were saved in one night. And he said, there's really one more. He said, on the way home back to Sandy Plains, my little girl said, "Daddy, pull over and lead me to Jesus right now."
Wow.
And then he had his daughter, 30-year-old, come over and hug my neck and say, "Thank you." That's about it.
Well, we are still faithful proclaiming the gospel as we have been just decade after decade. And we look forward to the next 10 years and hope that you can celebrate that one with us again. I mean, like you said, you've got some aunts and uncles that have lived a long, long time. And so maybe you've gotten the genes.
I'll leave it in your hands, buddy, and it's in good hands.
There
Lord
you
bless
go.
you.
Hey, thanks for joining us. You're going to see more of these interviews from some of our staff, and I appreciate Billy Jack swinging by from over in Paulding County just to visit with us today. And I just pray that you're blessed by the time that we've had with him. And brother, we just say from Eastside, all of us here at Eastside, we love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.